It's a beautiful thing for you to pour unto others, but are you pouring unto yourself? For you are important to care for yourself. If you're here watching this video, then you're probably tired and gone weary of pouring to everyone, but you accept yourself. And you're feeling that. Scripture says, even the youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. For those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. Strength must be renewed in God, or your giving becomes unsustainable. This is why you see scripture of Jesus going onto a high mountain alone a lot. He would go away from the world, away from the noise, to depart himself to be with the Father. And there's a good reason for that. To renew yourself, because you are human, but also a spiritual being. And as he is fully God, he's also fully man. And so the body and all this becomes tired, and it's a beautiful thing to renew, because it's something that, in the sense of regaining, and I'll read a scripture so that you know what I'm talking about. Very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off into a solitary place where he prayed. Simon and his companions went to look for him. They found him and said, "Everyone's looking for you." Constant prayer, communion with God regains strength. Doing that every day, letting that be your life, not as a task, but because that's just who you are. Because it's who he is, and you love who he is. And if it was important for him to be with the Father and to be in a solitary place, to get away from the noise of the world and to regain, to renew, to go back, then just how much more is it important for you to do it as well? Because he doesn't do anything that's just not important. Everything means something. Now, if you remember this verse where there was a woman that was in pain, and she remembered that Jesus was coming to her town or something like that. And let me go ahead and read that for you so you can know what I'm talking about. When she heard about Jesus, she came behind him in the crowd and touched his cloak, because she thought, if I touch his clothes, I will be healed. Immediately her bleeding stopped. She felt in her body that she was freed from her suffering. At once Jesus realized that power had gone out from him. He turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who touched my clothes?" And the reason why I read this scripture is the one before this was referring to how regaining, renewing, in the sense of spiritual is tangible. It's like having it, and then when you're pouring into others, you're giving that. And so then when you go to the Father and you're with him and you're constantly in prayer and communion, it's just overflowing, overwhelming more, and you're willing to just give more as you get. So do as Jesus did and rest. Go to the presence of God and just be refreshed. Take care of you because he cares for you. You're important. And not to talk negative at all of the band Casting Crowns, if you're familiar with the Casting Crowns Christian band. But there's a song and it goes like this: I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody. If you were nobody, Jesus wouldn't have died for you because he wouldn't have cared. You're made in his image. That's something. You were made with so much care and love that you will sit with him on the throne of heaven. That's something. That's not nothing. You can't downplay your creation, because you are his creation. You are his masterpiece. And if you're going to go to an artist and tell him that painting is nothing, it just downplays all the effort, all the beauty that the artist put into that masterpiece. So that's why you must take care of yourself as well, because You are a beautiful masterpiece, and the world's going to try to mess that up, but you can't let it. Remain in me as I will remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. That's how you can tell the difference between a Christian and a real Christian, is by their fruits, not just their words or tangible actions or anything, but the fruits of the Spirit and the way. It's not charisma, it's none of that. But you can tell, it's a spiritual, you can telling. And what's the vine, as the scripture is referring to? Well, in John 15:1, that was just, John 15:4. John 15:1 says, I am the true vine and the Father is the gardener. There you go. I want you to know that I make these videos for you so that you can go light up the world of the love that God has given you, the light to share with everyone around you. But I don't do this as a task, but just me listening to God on a daily basis and making videos about that. I don't live my life trying to teach.